The presidential race is tightening this week, with polls shifting in Mitt Romney's favor after President Obama's widely criticized performance at the first presidential debate. My colleague Diane Sawyer spoke with the president in the first television interview since that night to find out what happened on stage.
That debate, what happened?
Well, Governor Romney had a good night. I had a bad night. It's not
How bad?
Well, it's not the first time I've had a bad night, but I think what's important is that the fundamentals of what this race is about haven't changed.
We're told that you watched it split screen.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Well, I watched it afterwards.
Was it painful to watch?
No, you know, look, Diane, I've got to tell you that you know, these are marathons, they're not sprints.
Is it possible you handed him the election that night?
No.
You're going to win?
Yes.
You want it more than the first time?
Absolutely.
But the race is close and tensions are high. With 26 days remaining until the election, we hit the campaign trail with First Lady Michelle Obama, who's being deployed to swing states from Virginia to Colorado. We caught up with her for our series, The Contenders, Family Ties. Yesterday, we were backstage with Michelle Obama on the campaign trail. If she looks a bit tense, it's because she knows in an election this close, every vote counts.
It is all on the line.
We're in Sterling, Virginia, only 29 miles from the White House, but deep in the heart of swing state territory.
When we win Virginia, we'll be well on our way to putting Barack Obama back in the White House for 4 more years.
Her job as the election draws near is to testify to her husband's merits.
He's funny, I'm funnier.
And turn his cool persona just a little bit warmer.
In terms of star wattage, I rank below Michelle, the girls, and both.
She certainly was a hit at the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte.
I have seen firsthand that being president doesn't change who you are.
No, it reveals who you are.
The speech showed she perfected the art of the cut that doesn't draw blood. That night, she never mentioned Mitt Romney by name, but in praising her husband, she really seemed to be making a point about his opponent.
That when you've worked hard and done well, and walked through that doorway of opportunity, you do not slam it shut behind you.
Do you think Mitt Romney is the kind of guy who slams the door behind himself?
I don't talk about other candidates. I don't talk about other people. All I can talk about is my husband, and all I can talk about are the values that he brings.
Love you all so much.
One senses this Harvard-educated attorney has trained herself to sidestep conflict. Observe when we asked her about that tape from a private fundraiser where Mitt Romney said 47% of Americans believe they are victims. What do you think we learned about Mr. Romney in those tapes?
You know, again, I do not even begin to, you know, get into that kind of back and forth. I do know that Barack has made, I think, some very eloquent statements about those remarks that I completely agree with, and I don't think that I've got any more to add than what he said.
Well, what is clear to me?
She's learned to measure her words carefully. In February of 2008, she was roundly criticized for comments she made during this speech in Wisconsin.
For the first time in my adult lifetime, I'm really proud of my country.
Her remarks ignited a firestorm,
I'm proud of my country. I don't know about you if you heard those words earlier. I'm very proud of my country.
leading to questions about her patriotism. But now, with a 65% approval rating, she is seen as a campaign asset and is being deployed in swing states across the country.
You all are our best advocates.
Meeting with groups, large and small.
And I can make the case, but I'm still married to the guy.
She is just about the best running partner any political candidate could have.
The campaign hopes she can help turn out the base for her husband, even if some of those voters are far less excited than they were 4 years ago. There are so many people in this country who voted for your husband, and yet who have a sense of disappointment that more wasn't able to happen in the last 4 years.
Well, I would say there's nobody who's less satisfied and knows that there's more to do than my husband. Yeah, you know, there's been a lot accomplished, but Barack of all people knows that there's still folks hurting and there's still work to be done, and he's not finished until that work gets done.
Have you had to pull back some of your own expectations for what was possible from even this perch?
You want 100%, and you get 40%, and you take it and you keep working for the 100%. You never let it go, but you don't, you know, turn your nose up at 40%, because that is growth, that is change, that's movement.
It has to be kind of frustrating, though. One of the themes of your husband's last campaign was, we're going to come to Washington, and it's not going to be business as usual. We're going to work together. And it really hasn't happened. One could make a very strong case.
But it's been 3.5 years. You know, it's been 3.5 years. You know, real change takes time.
Considering how ugly the campaign has been, it's interesting that she says she feels a sort of solidarity with her counterpart on the trail.
You know, I know that Ann Romney's playing for the other team, but is there a certain sisterhood between women who are in this position of having their husbands seek the presidency?
Absolutely. Anyone, regardless of party or position, whoever makes this kind of sacrifice, you know, and says to myself, I'm going to put my family, my life on the line, whatever it is, and I'm going to run for office, and I'm going to serve the people of this country, they deserve a pat on the back, because that's how this democracy works.
And while she's working hard to help her husband serve 4 more years, she says what matters most to her will still be there on Election Day, win or lose.
What would you like that you don't have right now?
Oh, gosh. You know what? I feel so blessed and so content. I have what any parent would want. I've got a husband who loves me. I've got 2 kids that are healthy and happy, and I wouldn't dare ask for anything more.
Well, many of you have asked whether Ann Romney is also going to be featured on Nightline. We have a request pending with the campaign and hope to be on the road with her very soon.